November 16th.
You might not remember.
No, I don't.
That's okay. I was going to call and see if you remembered we had an appointment with you on Friday.
This Friday?
Yep.
I missed it?
No. Day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Today is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, which is Thursday. And then Friday, the 2nd, in the afternoon, coming in at 2 o'clock to do paperwork. 2:30 you would meet with Dylan.
Okay.
And do assessment.
Okay.
Now, I have talked with your attorney, okay, Stephanie Eckert.
Okay.
Okay. Because, you were on aid and assist, which, we talked about that a little, and I know that was a little hazy for you.
Can you explain again what that means?
That means they had determined in the court that you were not quite able to aid and assist in your own defense in your court trial.
Okay, so what does that mean, that I can't aid in defense? My own...
Well, it means in our legal system, okay, everyone has the right, okay, to defend themselves in the law, okay? When you're presented with that, oh, you did this, you did this crime, you have the right to say, well, I don't believe I'm guilty of that.
Correct.
And this is why, okay? And, if they determine, well, you don't seem to quite understand that. And it's probably because of your head injury that being determined, okay? And I'm not trying to insult you at all, okay? No. Please don't hear that. And so your attorney, I think, wisely helped get you on this track, because it's only fair to anybody that you should get extra help in being able to understand and being able to defend you. Okay?
Right.
Our legal system is not supposed to railroad people off to jail or something like that. Although I would be very surprised if you ended up railroaded off to jail. Particularly since you got a hold of us in this program. Because this program means, and please remember, speak up to the judge and say, I have gotten in contact with those folks at Lane County Behavioral Health, and I'm starting to work with them there, and I really would rather work with them there rather than go to jail, okay? And the judge is going to say, well, that sounds like a reasonable and good idea. And that's what they usually say. Now, I cannot guarantee you that a judge will say that, okay? So don't misinterpret that. But that is usually the case. They would rather, people like, you sought to get help for yourself. And that's wise. So, and that's why you and I were talking. So, I don't know, and I will try to find out for Friday when you come in. You should be meeting with somebody else here that is involved with the aid and assist program. Okay? Now, doing a little work with them does not mean you can't work with us also. They'll talk to you more just about the law and how the law and the court work, okay? We'll talk with you more about, how are you getting along? How are you thinking? Could you possibly use some medication? What's difficult for you in your life? Okay, we're not as much concerned about you being in trouble with the law. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically, one's in mental health for legal reasons, and the other is mental health for therapeutical reasons.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're both tied into the criminal justice system. Okay, I'm being honest with you. Because if we weren't tied in with the criminal justice system, you probably wouldn't be able to get any kind of counseling help at all right now. Because there's just no room and all the doors are shut. Okay, you wouldn't be able to go to the front door of Lane County Behavioral Health and get in right now. It's all too full. But because you're involved with the court, that's why I was able to, yes, take you in and talk to you when you're called. Okay? And I did initially run you by the supervisor of aid and assist, and he said, no, we don't have any notice about him, but they should now. Okay.
I was talked to, I remember, by the judge that said if I didn't call and do this, that she was going to have me arrested, she said, from the bench with a witness in court, that she was going to have me taken to Salem and hospitalized and removed from the courtroom and arrested.
Right. It is serious stuff. Okay. And your attorney brought that up and said that you had not, at this point, contacted aid and assist. And I'll tell you, I went to bat for you.
Hold on.
I said, well, hey, look, I don't think he understood exactly which.
No, I didn't.
Because you did try to contact Lane County Behavioral Health. You got directed to me, and I did, in fact, go try to talk to the people with aid and assist.
Thank you. Because
it definitely sounded to me like you should have been more involved with them. But they didn't have notice about you yet. Okay?
That's particularly weird because my defense attorney, my defense attorney's the one that brought it up. The prosecutor never asked for such a thing to be done. It was my own defense attorney that said Mr. Wisbey isn't complying with what I'm telling him, and then pulled, oh, he's mentally got issues, I want an evaluation. And I tried to tell the judge, Your Honor, I have a witness right here, my wife, that this guy tried to assault her, and I tried to defend her. I didn't want to, but there was no choice. He was causing both of us to have asthma attacks. And how is it me defending her a mental health reason? Am I just supposed to watch him choke out my kitties that were with snot down there and coughing inside a little Acura Integra being choked out with blackish diesel smog? And we kept revving and revving and revving until the whole parking lot was full of black smoke until I stopped him. And she even yelled at the prosecutor in court, he saved my life. And the judge said from the bench, like she's trying to say now, that, oh, that doesn't happen to determine this in the court. And I said, how is it? How is this a mental health evaluation doesn't matter with the criminal charges? It has to do with Stephanie Eckert. I wanted her removed, and this is her retaliation against me to destroy my reputation.
And I was completely out of it, because when this happened, I just lost my mom like 3 days before the event, so I was completely shook up.
Right.
Out of it because of it.
And they left her hostage at the scene, and they're trying to cover it over, and I took the video when she was hostage there, when they were trying to take me to the jail, but the jail had previously on another charge gave me the wrong medication that caused me to have a stroke. I've lost 30% of my vision in my left eye, And this jail's trying to kill me every time I get sent to it. And I have medical evidence proving it now. So how would I not be suffering PTSD to accept any charge, like Stephanie Eckert tried to get me to take a charge and a plea, or else this is going to happen to you, Jonathan, and me suffering with that PTSD that if I don't take this, they're going to kill me, or they're going to hurt me. And then they can cover it up that EPD beat me up at the scene, took me to the jail. The jail said, no, they're not going to accept me, so they wrote me a ticket and released me, and then she had to take me to the hospital. I, as a person, haven't even taken the hospital band off from Riverbend since the day they beat me up, just to remind myself every day of, you said how I was being railroaded? This is it. And I show people every day that I talk to, why are you wearing that band? And I said, because I was beat up and they're trying to make me take a charge, or they're going to cause me another stroke and I might die. Because the jail gave me the wrong medications when she went there for 3 days in a row and even said, you don't have to take the pills, just write down the prescriptions. And instead they said, no, we're going to give him this. And when they did, I almost flatlined. I had a stroke at Mackenzie Willamette. So they're going to kill me anyway. And you don't think I haven't called Kahoot several times going, fuck, they tried to kill me, and if I don't plead guilty, they're going to say now I'm mentally disturbed and take away my right to say anything in my defense, even in the civil trial later on, that they can bring up that, hey, this mental health evaluation itself shows that Jonathan is you know the word, it starts with a C that I'm talking about, where your word means jack, incompetent. And she's trying to use that against me and destroy my competency when the court had never even asked her for that.
There isn't any gain for her to do anything against you. Okay?
Well, then why even bring it up as being my defense attorney when even the prosecutor knew? Because Officer Yu, the arresting officer on this, he talked to us without them knowing. I have it recorded in my files that he said this should have been dropped. I made a mistake. I can even play it in court when we go. That the arresting officer, so the prosecutor knowing this, never even brought anything up. It was my own defense attorney when I was talking with her, because I told you before, I didn't trust her, so I gave her a whole bunch of lies and bullshit and just fucked with their heads. I even, every day when I went to court, I wore a different type of clothing, a different type of design to show her, you get this, you get this.
What are you talking about?
Yes, I set her up so bad that she swallowed the honey so much and didn't know it was poison. And now she farted with what I knew she was going to do to me, and I've only proven it more. And then I put it all on so much video that YouTube even dropped my channel.
Don't play games like that in court, though, okay? You might set yourself up and regret it, okay?
Why? What can they do to me more than what they're already doing? When somebody has nothing left to lose, they have nothing left to lose but their integrity. And now they're trying to take my integrity. I will never hurt anybody. I told you that before. I flatlined.
Right.
I went up to the Lord. I seen him. I was there. If you want to say that's schizophrenia, well, then you better get to all the Dalai Lamas and everything and criticize them about their religions. We have the freedom to that. I actually talked with mine.
Well, you never know. Getting a mental health assessment here on Friday might very well help your case, okay? Like I said, our part of the program, our interest is in helping you if you need help, okay?
I want my attorney, my defense attorney, to have to take a polygraph that she's not doing this because I made her butt hurt.
I don't know how far you'll get with that, okay?
But I'm not violent. That's the whole thing. They want me to become...
I would encourage you, be careful how far you go in court.
I'm trying.
Either jail or the hospital
It's a death sentence for me in my condition.
to go.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm going to say it once again. It is a death sentence for me with my physical condition to my body. I'm already terminally ill. My heart has problems and everything else. I've also been addicted to opiates for years. And the last time that they tried to take me off of the opiates, it caused me to have a stroke. This is history. Yeah, I mean, I got back medical evidence. And show me a facility where they'll let you have oxycodone or that to keep you from withdrawing and keeping you from flatlining or stroking. They won't.
Well, you can always talk with your attending physician about that. They know about those things.
I have. They're right on board with me. But it's procedures and policies that the government offices have that don't accommodate that is where I have the problem. And that's what gives me my PTSD. Now, the system's built around for violence. It wants you to have violence. It wants you to react that way, because then they can deal with it. But what they can't deal with is somebody that would rather martyr and just keep his word and then spread out the corruption and let people, because then people have their own minds. They're going to make their own choices and go, are we going to stand for this? And when all my little ducklings, like Ragnar Lothbrok, when he said, oh, how the little piggies will wail on how the old boar suffered. I'm Viking. This is how I live. Let them go ahead and punish me as much as I can, and I'll say, is that all you got? Bring it.
Okay.
I've got lots of people out there that would gladly rip towns apart because of what they do to me. I just want to see them rip me apart so they'll act.
So we'll try to find out when you're supposed to meet with the aid and assist people here.
Okay. Did you know that every time I've gone into court, the judge is also by the ACLU, the it's American Civil Disabilities Union Act, that I have the right to record for my memory, and I was denied that from day one in the court to keep it as a record for my own self, because I don't remember talking to. I mean, I probably said the same thing over that I talked with you about when you said that last time. I don't remember it. But yet I don't have a file that I can bring up and then before I talk to you, remember it because I had it recorded. That was denied to me, this whole case, that I could be able to have a recording to refresh my own memory from being like 51st dates, that when she woke up in the morning, she played the video so she could remember and go on about her day. They did not allow me to have the video to remember what I was or what I'd said. Never. Denied it to me. So it's like having a drunken stupor and not knowing that you crashed 9 cars.
Yeah.
You know, unless you had the record of it to replay. Look how many cars I crashed. Fuck, maybe I won't drink no more. They're not giving me the option.
A point that should be advocated there in the court system. I don't know enough about how to make that happen myself, but I hear you from a therapy point of view.
And I have no reason to tell you this except for you touched my heart when you said I didn't want to see a railroad. You know? And when people show compassion toward me, I have enough that I'm savant enough to have understanding. It's just I don't have the memory of retainment to know how much I'm going to remember talking to you because I'm not recording now.
Understood.
And maybe I should have. So if I go over this again Friday when we talk, please just be like, you've said that, Jonathan, I understand. And I won't feel bad about you telling me and reminding me that I've said it.
And this is
Well,
MaryAnn.
it won't be me on Friday.
Okay. Hold up. This is MaryAnn.
I said I wasn't recording. I wasn't. I didn't know that MaryAnn was doing it for me. She just hadn't told me. But that's why we have this recording now.
6 months to 2 years to live somewhere in that time.
So yes, we're grieving, and this is pretty hard for me. And she's saying yes, that I haven't been holding it together well. We got his diagnosis that it's inoperable brain cancer. Yeah, inoperable brain cancer.
That we have this to be able to play.
And so all this is like, just add another anvil of weight onto my shoulders. Just another. But God doesn't make life easier. He only gives us thicker calluses, so it's not as hard.
You you could technically have a choice of, put this mental health therapy off until you end up finalized with the court. I think what I hear you going through, I wouldn't recommend you do that, because just having some counseling is going to help you cope with the stress you're having to deal with. Okay?
I think if I talk to a counselor is going to need counseling after talking with me.
No. Believe it or not, that's a lot of what all of us get with our supervision. Our supervisors make sure that we're holding it together. Because, yes, in fact, we deal with a lot of sad stuff, unfortunately, because the world is full of a lot of sad stuff, particularly these days. And, because technically with your working with aid and assist, you don't, they are your priority, okay? But they're not necessarily going to have the extra time to work on counseling and whatnot with you. And that's where this program I represent, that's what we do, okay? And, that's what I just put to your attorney of hey, look, there's ethics involved here. This poor guy is going through a lot of stressful time right now. And it is an ethical issue to withdraw, the offer of counseling to him in this difficult time.
But the hardest thing for me to go through counseling with is there's not enough education and cultural development skills. People walk in thinking everybody's just a white guy with no culture. I am Norse Viking. My wife is Bushido Code Japanese. Our histories and our culture is very, very intertwined. And what you don't understand is she is from a royal house of Kubo, and my father-in-law is a daimyo for the Kubo family, if you understand what that word daimyo means.
And we were up on the hill to do his son sing.
We were grieving in the traditional Japanese way when she was attacked, and we were attacked by this person. And I have to hold being a gaijin, which is a considered foreigner in their language, a completely freaking spotless, honorable record to be even thought of being able to marry her into their house. So if I would not have, because she's not allowed to defend herself in public if there's a man there, being a geisha.
No, I'm not allowed to.
So me being her subject to want to be her husband, I'm still only her fiance, and hopefully I'll get, before he dies, he'll give me permission to marry into the house. But with this court case, he said he wouldn't. And now he's like terminally ill, less than, and I've still got to prove this to my honor, and now if I'm found with a problem mentally, I'll never be able to get that to her family. And oh my gosh, if they couldn't take anything away from me, fucking just kill me or let me commit seppuku in front of him instead to show I'm honorable enough. Don't take away my family right name by competency. That would be worse than being tortured every day begging for my own death.
Well, I don't know that anyone here would intentionally go that route against you.
They're not Jap. What do you mean? What do you mean? My attorney backstabbed me and already did it. Otherwise I would never even had to talk to mental health. She already dumped the vial. You can't put the liquid back in the vial.
Why don't I defend myself? Because culturally...
Because you can't.
Yeah.
They've been totally racist this whole freaking time. And if it wasn't have been for me flatlining, I would be acting like I was the barbarian when I was, and they would cease to exist with all the ties that I have of having accidents happened. They would be dead. Straight up gone. I wouldn't even have to touch them. I could make family phone calls, and they'd just cease to exist. An accident would happen. Yes, I'm very fucking lethal of that. Could be. But I flatlined. That person, that old assassin, died a long time ago. Now look at the history since that accident in 2007 when I shot in the back of the head and lived through it. My behavioral that's documented has been nothing but the opposite. Total opposite. Friends I used to have then don't even acknowledge me anymore. Won't even call me. They're like, you're not who we knew. You're something new. Yes, I am. I'm forgiving. I won't hurt people no more like I used to get paid to do. I'm not that person. And they just want to poke the dragon. But the dragon died. They don't understand. They can't get me to come back to work and be that old character I used to be. He's dead. He's gone. I talked with my maker. There's no way you can bring that back. I'm not that person. I'd rather them beat me down to where I don't exist no more. I cannot hurt anybody else unless somebody I am defending. That's the only exception I get, is when I'm defending somebody who can't defend themselves.
Okay. Jay?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just...
I'll let you go here because I want to get
Yes.
an email off to aid and assist people again. Now, you are not, obligated or forced to follow through with this appointment on Friday. Okay?
That's not what the judge said from the bench.
No, you are obligated to follow through with aid and assist. Now, let me look up your chart again.
I know the counseling helps a bit, and I don't mean to use you as an emotional Kleenex. I'm just... Okay, I talk really dyslexic at time when my ADHD kicks in from the brain injury, and I start to panic. So yes, it will help. The counselor that I have, if I get appointed, would have to be somebody that's educated enough to know cultures and customs to be able to help. Because if they don't, and they come to it without knowledge of nothing they don't know about, they can't get the I understand part of it to be able to help.
I think you'll find Dylan pretty culturally open-minded, as most of us are.
I hope so, because 90% of this case is about MaryAnn Kubo. It's not about Jonathan Wisbey. It was about why did they leave her up there hostage when I was protecting her. And she is Japanese. And if they do not understand, and they want to just brush her off as, oh, we rounded up the Japanese in World War II and stuck them in concentration camps instead, and not understand 1,500 years of culture.
Not listed with aid and assist here, but that's not necessarily doesn't mean that you don't have an appointment. So I want to find out from them if they do have you set up with that. Okay?
Please do.
And I want to, I already started advocating for you that you, in fact, have done your best to follow through.
Still in. I'm scared as hell that somebody's going to kick in my door and go...
I'm losing you on your phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was stating that I'm still scared as hell that they're going to kick in my door with a warrant going, search warrant, Mr. Wisbey, you're under arrest. You missed your court date. What do you mean? What court date? You were supposed to call this person. Great. I've been reaching out as much as I can, and MaryAnn's been doing the same to make sure that we had every I crossed and every T, See, I talk dyslexic when I get really emotional.
She can remember my name, Brian Phillips, and this phone number, and you have an appointment on Friday.
At 2:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
I wrote it down.
You know, I've shared all this with your attorney, too.
Well, thank you.
So, and I shared, so it's very clear, and I told her, repeated it a couple times, that what I got from you was you were trying to follow through and do what you were supposed to be doing. So...
I only have one more question for you. If it was your wife being assaulted by somebody, would you allow it, or would you give your life for your wife if you had to?
Well, actually, I'm not allowed to answer questions like that.
And you know what? That's a bunch of bullshit, and you ought to put a complaint in about that, because spiritually, the way I see it, every man is judged for what he will say or won't say. And under God, if you're just going to slip God I had an escape note, I don't know if he's not going to judge you on that and say, well, okay.
You know, I could say a whole bunch to you about the legal situation you're in, but I can't comment about that. Honestly.
It's not good. They probably want to stick me in a state mental hospital and not have to worry about paying me millions for the damage to my eyesight and this whole thing.
The one advice I want to give you is, you know, you were talking about wearing different things and presenting yourself differently. I strongly advise you, this is mental health advice. Don't do that, okay? Present yourself as you are.
Yes. And I think the last time I showed up in court, when I showed up in a suit, looking all polished and everything, and I told her, you ate it, and I slammed my attorney in court. I wish you would have been there to see it, that I pulled the wool right off her eyes and showed her and the court. And then even MaryAnn spoke up and said, you were played. We knew you were going to sell us out. And we showed him. Now, I'm going to be me the whole way through. I already used that once to show them their error.
It very well could be that if she made an error, it was because of the way you were presenting yourself. Okay?
No, she did it first.
No. So I can't comment.
I know.
But I can say it's not a good idea to present yourself differently. Okay? Be honest. Present you who you are, as you are. Okay?
I will. Okay, I am not going to present myself honestly if they're not going to go by the laws of the Constitution, period. If they're going to violate the Constitution in the court itself, and I prove that they're violating it, so be it, because proof you cannot lie about, and all of my followers and everything that are watching very closely how this is handled, some of these guys are Proud Boys, and they like their constitutional rights, and they're watching this case really close, real close. So if they want to be unconstitutional, that's their problem. I will not break my morale or myself or how I am in standing up for my constitutional rights, period. If they want to not go by the Constitution, then may the powers be judged upon them. I'm not going to judge, but everybody out there watching will.
Okay. Well, I want to try to...
I personally want to go to Salem's mental hospital, have them kill me, and then watch them start frickin' tearing the towns and courts apart. Let the wars begin. If they want to use me as their martyr and fucking send me away mentally to where I can be tortured in frickin' a little mental asylum, it won't be long before there's no mental asylums for people to show up because there won't be cities left.
Well, let's just have you not go to prison or jail, okay?
No, you don't understand, friend. I'm terminally ill. I want to martyr. Please take me out. Just don't make it painful. If you send me to a mental hospital, that's fine. They're gonna fucking go nuts. That's all I need to know.
That would be preferable to prison, but as far as I know, you're currently set up to not go anywhere. You're set up for community restoration.
I don't know what that even means.
That means stay right here.
I can't. Do you understand? Every time that right now I have a case in California where they're going to take my license away, where I used a airsoft to shoot a dog, or at a dog that was attacking my service animal and MaryAnn again, and my attorney knows this, so I can't go handle another legal issue. I can't even go down and see her dad who's dying because it's in Santa Rosa. Until this case is over, there's no way I can afford the gas on my Social Security to go down there and back, plus do classes.
Oh, God.
And I might not be able to see him before he dies because they're just going to pile more on me. Now you got to go twice a week to this place or once a week to this place or how am I going to be able to afford on a Social Security income plus my bills for the fuel that already cost me $500 both ways in a little Integra to go down and even see him? And I got warrants there already because of this case? I'm caught between two states, and this one's bullshit, and the other one I can beat.
Hey, I got another call.
I know.
Jay, can I let you go?
You can, but just, man, it's not right. It's not right, and I know you know that, but all right, thank you, friend, but thank you truly for standing up for me.
All right.
And the wife wanted to say something.
Thank you.
All right.
She says thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye now.
Bye.